As we predicted with you, Season 24 is finally out, with 2 secret scenes which give us information about what's going to happen in the future. And you may be wondering how the detective realized that lucky cameraman traitor, and why Top G asked to give him another chance. And what's the secret agent up to? Because it seems that Bro thought out his plan to every detail. Anyway, in this video, I will try to answer these questions. But if you also have any thoughts, then be sure to write about it in the comments, because together we are strong. Hello friends, you're on the Dattebayo channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button under the video to speed up the release of the next video. And let's go. The first secret scene begins with the agent's lab. And now we have a POV unlucky cameraman, which the engineers successfully repaired. And when the engineer finished, the bro gave a thumbs up. And I immediately noticed the engineer's gun, because it has the number 2 on it. And I'll remind you that the fake skibidi scientist had the same gun with the number 2. And honestly, I don't know what that means, but I have 2 options. Either that number has some significance because we see that number too often, and with that number Boom is trying to tell us something, or he just decided not to bother and uses the same model of gun for the scientist and the agents. And I'm leaning towards the theory that they have the same model and that number doesn't mean anything. And when the cameraman raises his hand, already in this frame, we see the detective checking to see if the cameraman is here and heading for the door. Also, when camera turn around, we see an old Titan cameraman core, and it looks like they're using this core as a generator to generate energy for the lab. Also on the left, we can see a cameraman who is watching the situation on a tablet, and despite the fact that Bro is wounded, he continues to worry about his brothers who are now on the battlefield, and for this respect to him. But finally, Bro came to the exit and opened the door and was met by 2 agents and a detective cameraman who already knew how he was going to spend tonight. And he was instantly handcuffed with some kind of energetic handcuffs that Bro would never be able to break. And then they started taking him somewhere, so it's obvious that they are going to interrogate Bro and find out what he knows. And notice that all the cameramen noticed it, and they are surprised because this case has never happened before. Also, one of the dudes started to run somewhere, and many even say that he started to run after he saw this arrest. But in fact, you can see that the bro initially ran somewhere. And Lucky Blood even tried how strong the handcuffs are, and he realized that he is not strong enough to break them. And that's the end of the scene. And from what we have seen here, it may seem that now the detective will find out the whole truth about the secret agent, and what is wrong with this cameraman and why he does all this. But personally, I think that they will not find out anything. Or rather, they will find out only what they have to find out. I mean, it was the secret agent's plan from the beginning, and he said before that he'll need to convince them.
I'm sure you will convince them.
And finally, in the future episodes, we will find out what he has to convince us of. And I think that the secret agent has thought through all the possible options related to the arrest, and he told the cameraman what he has to tell the detective and the other agents. And the secret agent will let them know something about himself, but only what they need to know and no more. And if you think about it logically, he could just destroy the lucky cameraman like he did with Plunger Man, so he definitely has nothing to fear. But I have 2 options what he is going to tell them to protect himself. The first option is that he will play dumb and deny everything. But in this case, the detective will not believe him because I am sure he has prepared for this arrest. But the second option is more likely. And I think he will tell them the truth that he works for a secret agent and that he exists. And he will try to convince them that the secret agent is on our side and he will help to win this war. But they will not believe him immediately and will not trust the secret agent. And they will need proof that he is really on our side. And what the secret agent means is that the cameraman has to convince them that the secret agent is on the side of the alliance. But he won't tell the whole truth, and he'll only tell the detective what he needs to know. Because the secret agent's plan isn't just to win the war, I'm sure he's got something else in mind. He might want to destroy everyone, the agents and the toilets, to revive humanity and make humans live like they used to. Or imagine that at the end of the show, it turns out that this show was his dream. And I'm not gonna lie, Defuk Boom is the kind of person that will make the ending crazy, and I'm 100% sure we'd be shocked at how much of a genius he is. And the end will be as unpredictable as possible, and I cannot even imagine how it all ends. But in any case, the series will not end so soon, so we will still have time to think about it. But let's talk about how the detective realized this cameraman was the traitor. In fact, there is nothing strange that they suspected him, because there were very important reasons for it. First of all, it is not clear how the bro was in the bunker first. The second reason is that he pretended to be dead and did not go to fight against the scientist. To be honest, there is a logical explanation for it, because he was injured and he just passed out. But if you take the fact that bros come out of nowhere and always survive, it can also be considered as a fact that he is not who he says he is. But perhaps the most important detail is that he has a magic tablet on which he monitored the toilets, and that he also has the remote control of all the doors in the laboratory, and he also knows the laboratory and where the agents need to go. But one might also think that the detective should not know that the cameraman can open doors with a strange device, because in fact the red shirt cameraman is the only survivor and no one can confirm it. But basically, this cameraman has a videotape of what he saw, and maybe the detective wants to see it. Or he's already seen it all, since the agents in the lab were watching through POV plunger cameraman. But either way, they'll get the truth that the secret agent has prepared for them. Now let's move on to the second secret scene. And the second scene is quite funny because in the beginning we see a lot of references, and even something crazy. You probably already know that this cameraman is trying to cosplay characters from the anime JoJo. The second dude is looking in the distance as if he has lived 100 years and for nothing is no longer important. The third dude is generally some kind of giga-chad with a powerful gun and a beret and a big cigar. It seems that this dude is the leader of this squad and occupies a high rank in the army. And it seems that in the future there will be more such special agents, as it is unlikely that ordinary cameramen with the current technology will be able to defeat Astro toilets, and they need to improve. Also, we see the sign, Alpha Hills Engineering Center. And it looks like this place is very important because a second later G-Man came here. And I think that he wanted to become a Titan in this place because there is a laboratory under the ground where it could be done. And maybe it's something similar to what we saw in episode 71 when the huge hidden door opened. But before we move on to G-Man, I have to show you this moment. Because one cameraman is doing exactly the wrong thing and his brother is taking pictures of it. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should comment on it, but you should have just seen it. But what's more interesting about this moment is that this dude has a white toilet. And we also saw 3 white toilets on the roof not long ago. And honestly, I don't understand where they came from. And with the current events, these dudes can hardly beat anyone. And maybe they were in some kind of slumber and only now they woke up and decided to have fun. But finally, our kebab is here. And the bro's really kebab because there's not a live spot left on it. But finally, for once, TV Man showed up on time and said the kebab can't run forever and it's time to eat it. And he started swinging his sword, and Top G realized that the TV Man might eat him now and said, "Give me one chance." And those are actually very important words. But TV Men didn't want to listen to him and said, "After all that you've done," and he showed us a cool new move that he definitely picked up from Speakerman. And with this trick, he even managed to knock out G-Man's shield. And even Cameraman's helicopter tried to do something, but his shells turned out to be toy for the armor-piercing face of our Top G. And it's pretty sad that this helicopter doesn't do any damage even to G-Man. And I'm not even talking about Astro toilets. How are they going to defeat them? They need new technology and urgently. And TV Man again tried to get the G-Man. But as always, our bro was able to run away. And I'm not even surprised he was able to escape again, since it seems like he can run from agents indefinitely. And then TV Man called him a coward and the scene ended. And let's talk about what happened here. This scene was before episode 74, and that's why TV Man doesn't know that soon their asses will be fried by Astro toilets. But Top G knows about it, because bro even now offers to unite. G-Man realized that even if he becomes a Titan, he will not be able to defeat the Astro toilets, as his Titan body is not complete. As Boom himself told us that there's an unfinished project in the containers, and G-Man wants to unite with the Alliance so they have a better chance. And honestly, I'd be shocked if it turns out that G-Man was actually being good, and he was just doing it to get home to Astro Planet and destroy the government. Because if you think about it, after they destroy the Astro toilets, they will have to fight with agents again. But the series will come to an end, and we won't see it. And it will turn out that the Astro toilets made them destroy this planet. And the scientist and the G-Man just wanted to live peacefully on their Astro planet. Or at the end, everyone gets killed by a secret agent, and there's no happy ending. Maybe I've started yapping anyway. G-Man wants to ally with the agents, and I'm sure he will. And after the agents were attacked by Astro toilets, TV Man will finally realize that they need G-Man and this alliance. Anyway, we will talk more on this topic, so be sure to write your theories in the comments and I will make a video with the best theories. I am also preparing the list of top strongest characters, so write your list too.